awareness, how we pay attention, how we're mindful, is as important as what we're mindful of. It's kind of like there's two sides of the meditation practice. There's what we're aware of, and there's how we're aware. And these two go together and they support each other. They hold each other up in a sense. And sometimes we pay more attention to one, sometimes we pay more attention to the other. And so what this means is that this idea of simple, mindfulness is simple, is the how we're being mindful is also something we pay attention to. That we pay attention to, are we straining? Are we pushing into something? Are we kind of gritting our teeth and really trying to be mindful to as a duty or as a good student or something? Or are we too lackadaisical? If I hold the striker and I'm not careful how I hold it, but I'm still relaxed about it, and I relax the holding, the striker drops out of my hand. So in the same way, if we hold our mindfulness too loosely and without much dedication and care, we lose it. The mind wanders off. So there is a way of being careful of how we're mindful, but the care is to hold it in a way that we stay present and we stay with the experience and can hold the experience well, so it's seen and known, but we neither lose it, the mind doesn't slip off the breath, for example, into daydreams. We're there, but we also don't grab things. We're not pushing it away. So this idea of noticing how we are aware, it can be a hard thing to do, especially for someone who's beginning to meditation, but it's the second side of meditation. How the mind is relating to experience. So to say all this in a little different way, there's always two things going on. And this is kind of just very simplistic, but it's useful to think of there's always just two things going on in the present moment. There is what's happening, which of course can be many, infinite number of things. There's what's happening, and there's how we're relating to what's happening. There's what's happening, and then there's how we relate to it, or how we push it away, or how we grab it, or how we try to avoid it, or run away, or all these things that we do to it, or we stand watching it and we're judging it, and this is a bad striker, and it's dirty, and a real Dharma teacher has, I don't know what, mahogany strikers, and poor Gil because he doesn't have the right striker, and all these thoughts and commentary and ideas and judgments and reactions and activity, all those things are distinct from the striker. The striker is the striker, and my relationship to it is different. So earlier when I talked about mindfulness of emotions, the raft simile, the T of raft is teasing apart. And so it's to tease apart how I'm relating to something from the thing itself. And this, to do this well, doesn't require a lot of sophistication or a lot of knowledge or even a lot of intelligence. It requires being quiet enough to be able to distinguish between an experience and the relationship we have to it. The experience and how we hold it or push it away, or what we're doing. And as the mind gets simpler and simpler, quieter and quieter, we relax, and thinking mind relaxes. It's a natural thing to begin seeing these as being two distinct things. The experience and how we know it. Experience and how we relate to it. And how we relate to it is, as we start feeling and recognizing how it is, it's important there also to stay simple and to just see it. Don't add second arrows. Don't then now, be upset at the fact that you're upset. Don't be afraid because you're afraid. Don't be judge yourself because you're judging yourself. And so the kind of the one of the little mantras that can represent mindfulness meditation would be something like, oh, so that's what's happening. Oh, that's what's happening. Or, oh, so it's like this now. It's like this. Oh, it's like this now. So if I'm clinging to my striker, oh, it's like this now. There's clinging. Not to be in a rush to relax, but to really just a simple observation. Oh, look at that. This is a human being clinging to a striker. That's interesting. Let me be aware of that for a little bit. Let me just know it. And you can hear perhaps that the movement, oh, let me just know it. Let me just be aware of it. Let me be curious about it. Is a very different relationship to it than, oh, I got to get rid of it. This is wrong. I hope no one notices that I'm clinging to it. All this extra stuff. So as mindfulness deepens, we begin to see more clearly, and making this distinction can be very helpful. So with that, let's do a little meditation. Do a meditation session. So if you could please take a meditative posture, whatever is appropriate for you. And generally, if it's possible, it's good to sit up a little bit straighter than you normally would. And then to softly, kindly close your eyes. And perhaps as we begin this meditation with the eyes closed, to reflect that mindfulness meditation, session of meditation, is meant to be a time of kindness or positive self-regard, of doing something which is a good thing for oneself because we care and we value what we are and how we are, and that we're trying to not live with so much stress, upset, and distractibility. And with a little bit of that positive self-regard, to begin by now to take some long, slow, deep breaths. Perhaps in a gentle way, not more deeper than is appropriate for you, but as a way of connecting to yourself, to feel more of your body. Maybe these are the deepest breaths you've taken today, and so you really feel more of the body's process of breathing, the expansion of the rib cage, the lifting of the shoulders. You're aware more fully of the whole process of breathing out, the letting go, the smooth, maybe ending of it, or the fading of exhale. And then letting your breathing return to normal. And you might search through your body to see if there's any obvious places in your body where the muscles are held tight and contracted. And maybe don't relax right away as soon as you can, but take a few moments just to feel how that is. Sometimes the muscles will relax themselves when they're seen and recognized of being tight. And that's kind of a nice process to let the body take care of itself rather than us always in charge. But then you could also then, if it's easy enough, to relax. Let go. Soften the body, the belly especially. Maybe around the eyes, the face. And then maybe your awareness can be global in some way. And for a few moments, be globally aware of your body. In whatever way is easy for you to do that. And then within this global body, as part of it, maybe as the functional center of it, become aware of your body breathing. Allow the body's breathing to come into your awareness. As you become aware, as you tune into your breathing, have a clear acknowledgement or intention, recognition that this breathing, experience of breathing, will be the home, will be the center of where you keep your attention, rest your attention. And not as an avoidance of other things, but by sitting at the center of all things, rooted and grounded here in the body. Perhaps as you're exhaling, to relax your thinking muscle, any tension or pressure to think, any physical agitation or activation associated with thinking. As you exhale, let it become softer. Let the mind become broader, quieter. perhaps as you exhale, letting go of your thinking, not by rejecting it, but allowing it to float away, to fall away. And then let go into the experience of breathing. There's something occurring for you right now that makes it difficult to be with your breathing. Let go of the breathing and bring your attention, mindful awareness, to this other thing. In the body and emotions and thoughts and thinking, in the sounds around you. And recognize what that is. And there's something about the power of recognition, sometimes supported by a mental note, recognizing what it is, that can create a little bit of freedom, a little bit of peace in relationship to what is recognized. Sometimes the mental note needs to be done gently a few times so that the mind eventually gets the sense of it. Oh, this is being recognized. And the recognition is not the same thing as what is recognized. It's like we step away and look back. Oh, that's what's happening. whether you're with your breathing, or you're recognizing what takes you away from your breathing, notice how you're recognizing, notice how you're aware. What attitudes come along with being aware? Is the awareness very simple? Simple recognition? Or does it come along with more complicated attitudes of being for or against? Liking or not liking? Having all kinds of evaluations, projections, ideas about what's happening. Is the awareness tight and forceful? Might it be too loose, too relaxed, so that you just slip off too easily from what you're bringing attention to? How to have the hand of awareness open so that whatever you're attending to is resting in the palm of awareness, not falling off, dropping away, and not being gripped. Simplicity of meditation, where very little needs to be done and accomplished or thought about. A moment of mindfulness can be a moment where we allow each thing that occurs to be itself. Simply aware of what is and have the generosity to allow it to be just as it is. What is happening can be what is happening, and then we know it with a clear, relaxed mind. And if the mind is not clear and relaxed, then it's useful to know, to recognize that mind, how that mind is. That can be the subject of mindfulness. And if you're off noticing other things besides the breathing, you might now come back for the last few minutes and be with your breathing, being a companion to your body breathing. And then to end this sitting, take a few deeper breaths again. Feel more connected to your body, perhaps a little waking up of a certain kind with the deeper breaths. And then breathe normally again. Before you open your eyes, just recognize. Mindfulness is always about recognizing, being aware of how you are now compared to how you were before.